Imagine walking home, a routine journey, but you never make it. This nightmare became a harsh reality for 3 young girls in Cleveland, Ohio. What happened to the innocent Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus? How did these innocent girls fall into his trap? What horrors did they endure in his house of terror? This story is not just about their abduction, but their incredible fight for survival. The next few minutes will just shock you. In the early 2000s, Cleveland, Ohio became the backdrop for a series of abductions that would shock the world. Ariel Castro, a seemingly ordinary school bus driver, made a plan to abduct 3 innocent souls. These young women, each snatched from the streets, endured a decade of unimaginable horror in Castro's clutches. Let's understand how it all happened. In August 2002, Michelle Knight, then just 21, faced a moment that would tragically redefine her life. Ariel Castro, being his father's friend, was a familiar face, so when he offered her a ride, she trusted him. But this choice led her into a decade of unimaginable torment. Time passed, turning days into months and then years. Michelle's situation became worse. The authorities, constrained by limited resources, struggled to find her. Then, something worse happened. Michelle's name was eventually removed from the National Crime Information Center database. This removal, a seemingly small administrative action, made the situation even worse. Michelle became a forgotten name, hidden from the world. 1 year later, Amanda Berry faced a similar fate, marking the beginning of her nightmare. The day before her 17th birthday, Castro approached her as she walked home from her job at Burger King. She accepted his offer of a ride without hesitation, especially since she knew his daughter. She made a call to her sister after sitting in the car. It was a routine check-in that tragically marked the last moments of her life as a free person. Her family received a call a week after she vanished. It falsely claimed Amanda was safe and would be back soon. This lie only made her family's pain worse. Let's pause for a moment and think. Amanda was just 16, about to celebrate a birthday, with dreams and aspirations like any of us. How would you feel if suddenly all that was snatched away? It didn't end there. April 4th, 2004 saw the abduction of Gina DeJesus, then just 14 years old. Gina, familiar with Castro's daughter, was lured into his car under the lie of a friendly visit. Instead, she found herself trapped in a situation far beyond her worst fears, becoming Castro's 3rd victim. Gina's disappearance, like the others, left the community and her family looking for answers. The 3 girls found themselves in a living hell within the walls of Castro's house at 2207 Seymour Avenue. This house, appearing ordinary from the outside, concealed a reality of dark horrors. They were chained, locked away, and deprived of the most basic human needs. They couldn't even use a bathroom. Instead, they had to use buckets. Imagine that. DeJesus and Knight were chained together. They shared all their sad moments. Amanda Berry was all alone in another part of the house. Her tale is a journey through fear. "It was just really dark in there," she said, her voice heavy with the pain of a nightmare she never expected. In the dark world ruled by Castro, dignity was stripped away. They faced brutal assaults and lived in conditions no one should ever imagine. Her words paint a picture of a young life engulfed in darkness, a soul grappling with a cruel fate. In the midst of chaos, an unexpected event took place. Berry gave birth to a daughter on Christmas Day 2006. She was a child conceived in captivity and born in chains. She endured the pain of losing 5 babies. Her already heavy burden was made heavier by the miscarriages, which occurred under such cruel conditions. The thought of enduring so much yet remaining resilient touches the deepest parts of our hearts. Michelle Knight, the longest held captive, suffered the most severe punishments. "He shoved me in a room and then he starts undressing himself," she recounted. Bound and powerless, she was subjected to repeated assaults by Castro. "I couldn't move, couldn't do anything," she said, describing the utter helplessness of being chained to a pole. There's something more disturbing. She was forced to wear a motorcycle helmet that blocked her sight. This was more than just a helmet. It was a barrier separating her from the world. It made her feel lost and deeply alone, a truly heartbreaking experience. Gina DeJesus, the youngest, also suffered years of abuse. "He starts like touching me, and then I'm like, what are you doing?" she remembered. Her words echo the confusion and fear of being deceived by someone she thought she could trust. Castro's manipulation was a twisted game. He filled her with false hope, only to trap her in the basement. This space, meant to be part of her home, became a cold, unforgiving prison for her. Despite suffering years of abuse, Gina maintained hope of one day reuniting with her family. These girls were kept in dirty, cramped, dark rooms. The place was dirty and neglected, lacking the basics for cleanliness and comfort. There was nothing beyond a sense of confinement and hopelessness. The windows boarded up, cut them off from the outside world. They were chained, their movements restricted, in a place that seemed forgotten by time and humanity. Imagine living in a space where even the simplest comforts are a distant, unattainable dream. Their daily life was a cycle of abuse and neglect. Castro controlled every aspect of their existence, from when they ate to when they could use the bathroom. Their psychological torture was as relentless as the physical abuse, yet the girls found small ways to assert their humanity. They would whisper words of encouragement to each other, share their dreams, and hold on to the memories of their lives before captivity. The question arises, how did they find the strength to endure such hardship? For Michelle, it was the hope of reuniting with her son. For Amanda, it was the thought of her mother's unending love and search for her. Gina found strength in her youthful resilience and the belief that her family would never give up on her. Their story took a dramatic turn on May 6, 2013. Before we continue, a quick pause. If the story of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina has gripped you, please hit like and subscribe for more disturbing chapters of human history. And hey, why not share this video with a friend who's equally fascinated by these incredible survival stories? Let's continue with their survival story and where they are now. On May 6, 2013, everything changed. Berry seized a rare opportunity when Castro left a door unlocked during a family meal. With incredible bravery, she screamed for help, catching the attention of people. She ran across the street, desperately calling 911. "Help me, I'm Amanda Berry," she pleaded. "I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 11 years. I'm here, I'm free now." The police arrived to find DeJesus and Knight hidden inside. Can you feel the weight of those words? The relief, the fear, the hope. As the police arrived, they discovered DeJesus and Knight still hidden inside. Imagine that moment of liberation, the first breath of freedom after 10 long years. It was all over. Finally, the rescue of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina was not just the end of a tragic chapter, but the beginning of a new journey. Following their escape, the trio expressed gratitude for public support but requested privacy. "Everyone who has been there to support us has been a blessing," Berry stated. They reunited with their families, focusing on healing and the future. Castro's recklessness on the day of Berry's escape led to his arrest. On August 1, 2013, he received a life sentence plus 1,000 years for 937 criminal counts, including kidnapping and rape. A month later, he was found dead in his prison cell. How could he get off that easy? In the aftermath, Knight released Finding Me, a memoir detailing her ordeal on May 7, 2014. She emphasized her identity as a survivor, not a victim. "I don't dwell on the past. I want to be remembered as a victor," she said. In Hope, a memoir of survival in Cleveland, Berry and DeJesus shared their daily lives in captivity, marked by constant fear and moments of joy, like watching The Vampire Diaries together. Berry, allowed to watch the news during her captivity, later hosted a segment on missing people, hoping to make a difference. Knight, in her second book, Life After Darkness, explored finding love and happiness post-trauma. She married Miguel Rodriguez on the 3rd anniversary of her escape. Isn't it relaxing to hear now? DeJesus, drawing on her family's experience, started a non-profit to aid families of missing persons. She also educates law enforcement on working with such families. Knight continued her advocacy by hosting an event for her non-profit, Unleashed Animal Rescue. She aims to be a voice for abused animals, finding solace in helping them. Their message is clear: no one should have to endure what they went through. Everyone deserves a chance at freedom and happiness. Let's remember the power of hope and the strength that lies within each of us. Until next time.